Hey, welcome to Innovation Thursday with Houchens Insurance Group. This week, we're talking about building relationships and growing your business and how important those relationships are to the success of your business. So with us this morning, we have Garrett and Jennifer Keller with Aflac. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, really appreciate your time. Always great to see you guys. So, and again, our objective is to keep these short. So we're going to kind of dive right in. So both of you have really built successful careers, working all across Western Kentucky, Southern Indiana, and so forth. What is it you guys attribute that success to?
Well, I'm Jennifer Keller. I'm a regional sales coordinator here in Western Kentucky. I've been serving with the great company of Aflac for 15 years. And I believe that, success comes from a lot of things. I think it starts with understanding your why and what you're really seeking to do. So for us, we're very impact driven. We're very focused on leaving people better. And, in that, what fuels success for us has been the relationships that we've been blessed to build and be a part of. You never get anywhere on your own. And so being able to meet great people that have connected us, trusted us with their business, and, referred us to other people, that's really been the core of how we've been able to build our organization.
And I would say consistency. I mean, just always being on the grind and riding the roller coaster, whether it's up and down, and follow up. I mean, a couple of years ago, I've been with Aflac for 13 years, and it took me 10 years to open up a group. And I finally opened up after 10 years. And the lady was like, "You've always respectfully followed up." And she's like, "It paid off." And I'm like, "Well, it's never been this long, but thank you." And it's been great, but just following up no matter how long it takes.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a lost art, is the follow-up and just continually build those relationships. Because again, a lot of times we don't get a yes the first time a lot of times.
Right.
So, yeah, and Jennifer, you've already mentioned it, in our business and really any business, partnerships and relationships are critical. So give us a little insight. How have you been able to build these relationships to impact and grow your business?
I think the foundation of building a relationship is, giving of yourself, right? Like really figuring out, what's best for this particular relationship or this client, and how can I help them, right? Like if you go in with that servant mindset and you really are genuine and authentic in wanting to help put a solution to a problem or help them connect or help them grow, I think then you grow leaps and bounds. And, finding others that want to be committed to that as well, right? Because you're not always going to connect with people that have that giver's mindset, right? Like they're just going so fast that maybe they're only thinking about their business. So knowing too, like when a partnership or a relationship isn't serving on either side, I think is really important.
And I would say, like, just being honest with people, like, no matter what line of business you're trying to run through, like just being honest. Like I've had people say, "Hey, can you quote me like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in life insurance?" And I'm like, "You don't want that through AF. Like you want a smaller policy, but if you want that much, I can refer you to a guy." Or like somebody's looking for health insurance, like, "Hey, I got a guy." And other things like, a guy I went to high school with owns an IT company. It's like, "Hey, I got a guy for that." So just referrals, helping other people grow their business too. And it'll all come back to you as well. Just pay it forward, try to help others, and you'll get the referral on your side too.
Great. Well, I think that's a great point, guys, because really the whole purpose of these videos and these talks is just trying to add value, help people out with if they're struggling with building relationships. Hey, give them some examples and so forth. And we're not always the right fit at the right time. We were just talking about a group we worked on previously that, hey, we went in, we provided some solutions, but the timing wasn't right. And again, we continue to build those relationships, and we may pick up that business next year. So I think it is follow through and building relationships. And I think, Jennifer, you mentioned, just doing the right thing and being honest, like Garrett said. So I really appreciate that insight for you guys. So kind of last question, we always wrap up with the business owner question. So of course, we're all in business and building our business. But if you're that small to mid-sized employer out there today, and what kind of advice would you give them when it comes to their health, their employee benefits package in general, health, dental, vision, life, and Aflac as well, all their worksite pieces? What kind of advice would you give that employer?
I would say that education is mandatory and participation is voluntary. I mean, I was just at a group last week where I enrolled a guy in short-term disability and he's worked there 3 years and he didn't know that they offered short-term disability. And I'm like, you know, he just didn't know. I mean, you want your employees to know what they're saying no to, whether it's the health insurance or the voluntary. I mean, because they need to know what their options are and what they're turning down. So just educating your employees, whether they participate in the health or not. I mean, you got 100 employees, or say you got 50 and 25 do the medical and 25 don't. Well, there's 25 that probably are sitting around with their friends or their wife saying, our benefits package isn't that good, because they don't know what's offered there. They need to know what they're waiving.
I think that's so important, because from an employer standpoint, if our employees don't understand our benefits and what's offered, the investment of time and dollars that we're making as the employer are never really gonna, hit the point of them understanding that investment, right? And if we're using benefits to retain employees and attract employees, which I know a lot of businesses in today's world are, it's not really going to retain and motivate them if they don't understand it. So I think what Garrett's saying is key, that education piece, and letting the expert be the educator, right? Letting them be that third party that can come in and really highlight the employer, let the employees know why the business is contributing to this or why the business is offering this. And it can be a two-pronged approach, right? It can attract and retain, but it can also build culture and loyalty when that third party gets to come in and highlight the why, right? Like, so many times we get so busy in the what that we don't necessarily make time to share the why, and the why is what keeps people connected. And so I think the education piece is huge.
And another thing, like, we share a group, and whenever we were presenting, their medical is $25 a week. Well, the business owner stepped up and was like, y'all are paying the $25 a week for you. I'm paying this much. Like, so they have no idea most of the time. They're just like, I'm not paying 25 a week, or 25 a week ain't bad. Well, it's really $50 a week. The business owner is picking up half of it. Explaining that to your people, that way they know that you do have skin in the game as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's great advice. And again, I think it all boils down to relationships, communication, education. And again, to do that, and you guys do a great job with our clients all throughout West Kentucky. So we really appreciate that, and especially coming off a couple of years of COVID. So we haven't been in front of the employees as much as previously. So we're starting to see employers, hey, we need you to educate our employees. We need you to present more. And we're definitely seeing that as a trend here more recently. And you guys are a big part of that. So with that, thanks for your time, guys. For those of you listening, I really appreciate you tuning in. If you're interested in learning more about Aflac and what Garrett and Jennifer are doing in the West Kentucky, Southern Indiana area, we'll put their bio in the link. You can also click, there's a little survey on there that, hey, if you want to find out more about Houchins Insurance Group or Aflac, either one, we'll get some information out to you. And again, look forward to hearing from you. Jennifer, Garrett, thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Brian.